Today, we're going to be talking about personal branding as an entrepreneur. As an entrepreneur, you are your own brand. Your personal brand is what sets you apart from the competition. It helps you build and trust credibility with your target audience. This is very important for you to continue to build on top of what you've already started. So if you've got a personal brand already, you want to really signify what that is and begin to build on top of that. If you don't have one, this is going to be a great video for you. We're going to go over some of the things you can do to start to build that brand and how to continue to grow it. The first step in building a strong personal brand is to define who you are and what you stand for. This means identifying unique strengths, values, passions, and figure out how to communicate them effectively to your target audience. One way to clarify your personal brand is to create a mission statement. Your mission statement should clearly define your purpose and values as an entrepreneur. It should be concise, memorable, and authentic to who you are. Another way to clarify your personal brand is to conduct a self-audit. This means taking a close look at your online presence, the messages, the visual identity you have, and making sure that they all align with the image and brand that you want to portray to the public. You can also seek feedback from others, such as your colleagues, your mentors, customers you've had, even your friends. Ask them how they perceive your brand. Use their feedback to refine your message and positioning. That means what they tell you about what they feel when they watch your videos, what they're hearing. Get that information from them. And if it's not exactly what you feel or thought that you were portraying, then you can start to change those things and really make the brand be exactly what you want it to be. All right, let's take a look at a successful entrepreneur with a strong personal brand. Okay, this is an example that everybody knows. Elon Musk, who has built a personal brand around innovation, technology, and sustainable energy. His brand is consistent across all of his businesses, from Tesla to SpaceX to anything that he's doing. Everybody knows him for his bold vision and his charismatic personality. What you can do is take those types of people, find somebody that is in the same industry as you. Look at what they're doing and how they're able to use that brand across different businesses even, because we're talking about your personal brand as an entrepreneur. You might be in real estate. You might be in digital marketing. You might be in service-based business. It doesn't matter what it is, and you may not do that forever. So if you build a personal brand that's strong and is very, very clear about who you are, you can take that personal brand and apply it to anything. A lot of the people that we follow nowadays through social media, through any type of online activity, they have a strong personal brand. They are able to take that personality, that charisma that they have, and put it on anything they want. That could be a business. It could be a product. It could be a course they want to sell. It doesn't matter what it is because you believe in that person. One of the biggest things that you can do is to get people to KLT, know, like, and trust you. If people know, like, and trust you, they will follow you, they will buy from you, and you will be able to have a brand that goes from both sides of the spectrum. Once you've got some clarification on what your brand is, the next step is to communicate it effectively across all channels. This means making sure that your website, your social media, your marketing material, everything aligns for the image of your brand. Everything on all of those facets need to make sure that they're pointing in the same direction. And that way, when somebody sees you on the website or sees you on your Instagram or sees you on your TikTok or your YouTube, they're getting the same message, the same vibe from you. That begins cultivating that personal brand. So One of the ways that you can communicate your personal brand effectively is to develop a brand voice. Your brand voice is the tone and style you use to communicate with your audience. It should be consistent across all of these channels that we discussed previously. Another way for you to communicate your personal brand effectively is to use high quality visuals. This includes using consistent colors, fonts, imagery that align with your personal brand. An easy way to do this, if you're not a graphic designer, you can have somebody make these things for you, but you can use something like Canva. Go to Canva, you'll create a brand kit. You'll start to do logos, you'll start to do pictures, you'll edit your photos, you'll do these things using the same types of fonts, the same types of colors, and you can create that brand kit and then apply it to all the material that you're trying to make for your website, for your social media, for anything that you want. And that consistency of using those fonts, of using the right colors that fit your image. People will start to take notice of that as you consistently do it across all of those channels. One of the big things outside of that you can do to communicate your brand is storytelling. Maybe you don't have a YouTube right now. Maybe you have a story to tell. I would almost bet that you do. We all have a story. Start to communicate the story that is about your personal brand. That will get people to know, like, and trust you. Sharing your personal story and experiences help to connect you with people better than anything that you can do. People want to know how similar they are to you, that you're going through the same things, that you've done the same things, you've tried the same things. So start to build that through telling stories about yourself. You will start to build a higher level of credibility with your audience, which just builds that know, like, and trust factor and will help to further your brand and put you in a place where people really do want to see what comes next from you, who you work with next, what your clients are getting, what you're doing for somebody else. So really try to communicate this effectively and break out of that uncomfortable zone and start to share your story. A really good example of this is Gary Vee. Gary Vee has built a personal brand around being an entrepreneur, a social media and marketing expert. He's very consistent across all of his channels with his messaging. People know when they hear certain lines or a certain snippet from his stuff, they know it came from Gary Vee, right? So these are things that you can do. Start to get consistent with your messaging, get consistent with your stories, be authentic, be engaging, tell stories. So those were the first two steps. Now becomes actually building your brand. We've defined how to communicate your personal brand. It's time to start building it. This is going to take time. These things don't happen overnight. Take some, for instance, Grant Cardone. He didn't just start making videos today. Grant Cardone has been making videos for years. He has been posting content and making video for a very long time. Now he's a household name amongst real estate people and investors and business-minded entrepreneurs. Most of you have probably heard of him by this point in time. So what you're going to have to do at this point is look at the things to increase your visibility, your credibility, your influence as an entrepreneur. One of the effective strategies for building your personal brand is networking. This means attending industry events for whatever industry you're in. If it's marketing, if it's real estate, if it's investing, if it's acquisitions, it doesn't matter. There is an event in your city, or at least in a drivable distance of your city, that you can be active inside of. Go to these places, meet people, introduce yourself, tell the stories to them, connect with them via social media, connect from phone numbers and emails. It doesn't matter what the channel is, you will begin to build a following, people locally and people all over the world, if you're doing this consistently across all the channels. These can be very valuable relationships that can lead to new business, new opportunities, or new relationships that then lead to the new business or the new opportunities. Another strategy for building your personal brand is speaking engagements. You don't have to be the number one expert in the room. There are plenty of people that do speaking events. that aren't the expert, but they have a great story. And that great story makes you want to take action. And that's what people are looking for. They want somebody to light that fire inside of them and get them to take action. I know I did. I consumed a lot of content because I wanted to hear certain things from people, their struggles, what they went through, that it was hard, but they made it through. You can share those types of stories through speaking engagements. Get involved in your community, and I promise you, you will find an opportunity to speak in front of people and let your story be told. And that story being told is going to further solidify your brand if you stay consistent with it. Finally, one of the last pieces you can do, and this goes without saying, content creation. Start a YouTube channel. Get uncomfortable. Put some content out there and talk about what you're passionate about. Create videos on YouTube, TikTok. Get the content out there and make it consistent to your brand. It could be anything. You can do podcasts. You can do any type of content, but just start. That's the biggest piece, is just start making content, just like making this video right here. Putting this content out here, I hope that this finds somebody that wants to build a personal brand. And this is a piece to say, hey, you know what? I can do those things. I just have to be consistent. It's important to note that while building your personal brand, it's also essential to stay true to your values. Be authentic to your personal brand. Adapting to the changing market conditions and trends is very important, but make sure as you're doing that adaptation that you're still staying true to the brand that you want to portray. It's very easy to skew from that path as we look at all these different things going on. You can stay true to what you want to portray and still adapt to these market conditions. We've spoke about a couple of examples here with Gary Vee and Elon Musk. Those are two great examples of people with great personal brands. There are plenty others out there. You could look at anybody that has a podcast. Look at the people that do podcasts. What makes them very good at what they do is the personality, because they're portraying a brand and they're pulling stuff out of people that is expected by that audience because they know who they are. They're authentic with themselves. So I urge you to go out, make a list of 5 people that you think have a very, very sustainable and true to themselves brand. Look at those 5 people, study them, see what they're doing on all of the channels. Look at their Instagrams, look at their TikToks, look at their YouTube, look at their courses, the services they sell, the brands they work with. Look at all of those things and see if they all align. And look at when you finally see that everything is aligning, it gets that much easier because you're not running around trying to figure out what that next thing is. You already know what it is because it's genuine to yourself. It's genuine to who you are and to your brand. So this is a really short video, but I hope that this helps you understand what it's like building a personal brand, how to do it, and some of the steps to take. An easy thing to do inside of here as well, as an added note, make a calendar. Don't make it hard on yourself. Don't try to wake up tomorrow and just, go off the rip and make content. Make a plan. Put a schedule together. You can use something like Notion. You can use a spreadsheet. It doesn't matter. You can journal it. Write it down and make a content log of what you're going to do over the next, start with a week. Just write down an idea for every day for the next week. Make the content, make it align to your brand, and get your message out there. I hope this video has been beneficial for you. If you did like this, make sure you give it a thumbs up. And I urge you to subscribe to the channel because we will be putting a lot more content out there that will help you better who you are as an entrepreneur and help you grow and succeed in this world.